Right, so today we're going to be putting in the posts for the gateway to the garden. Digging the holes. Pretty straightforward. For me, it's a bar. Diggity, diggity, dig. Bar, bar, bar. And then these things. You see them? They're post hole shovels. You can hire these if you ain't got any. And it just makes digging the hole so much easier. You put them in, squeeze it together, pull it out. Like so. Best Blue Peter style. I've dug this hole already. So in, squeeze, twist, and pull it out. Posts that are going in here are 6 foot. So I've gone 2 foot deep. Hello, Buzz. Got the dog with me. 2 foot deep. It's the depth that will give you the stability, not how big around it is. These are 4-inch posts. So this hole is about 8 inches in diameter. All right. It's the depth that gives you the stability, not the width. Right. So that's 2 foot deep. I'll go on and dig this one, and I'll come back to you. Right. I guess you want to see it done for real. So we're barring around. Just loosening it up. This makes life a lot easier. And you got the shovels. In, grab, twist, and pull it out. You can obviously just do this with a shovel, but you'll end up with a much bigger hole because you just cannot get the angle to get the shovel out. Whereas this will give you a nice hole and not too big. Right, I'll carry on down to 2 foot. And if it's cold and wet, I can really recommend these Cool Grip Arctic gloves. Absolutely brilliant. Waterproof. Well, they are if you don't put a hole in them. And really warm. Because it's like 3 degrees here right now. But it's the sun shining for a minute. You know, it'll dry up eventually. Right. I'll carry on digging this. Then we'll come back to what we do next. Right. So we've dug our holes. Now what we've done is put our posts in. Now some people will say put some stone in the bottom of the post holes so the water drains away from the bottom of the posts. Rubbish. Complete waste of time. These posts are 2 foot in the ground. If there's no water 2 foot down, you're in trouble. All right, so that's a complete waste of time. Take your time to get them upright and square. I've put these temporary rails in because this is where the fence line. I've squared them up so they're sitting nice, upright. The only thing I would say is if you know which one is going to hang your gate, have that slightly back off center because it will move a little bit. I don't care what you do, it will move. Unless you've got concrete between the posts, giving you a solid lump. If it's just in the ground, it will move slightly. So just have the post you're hanging off slightly backwards. Right. Now, as for rotting, the post will always rot where it's in contact, or not in contact, but where the water and the ground meet. That's where a post will always rot off. There's only one way to stop that, and that's don't put a wooden post in the ground. You can buy concrete posts that you can bolt a wood post to, and I'll stick a picture of one of those up. That's the only way you'll stop it. But I will show you. Won't do it today because we've got to put the concrete in, and then tomorrow I'll show you how we slope the concrete away so the water is running away from the post. All right, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll mix up the concrete now and set these posts. I think that's it. Yep. Booty, let's mix some concrete. Right, so we're going to mix up some concrete. If you buy aggregate in bags, that's great. I didn't. I had some sand and I had some chippings. There's 8 shovelfuls of sand, 2 of chippings. We'll mix that up. So we've got 10 shovelfuls altogether. And to that, we'll add 2 shovelfuls of cement. So 5 to 1. All right, so it's just, and I'm using, if you ain't got a cement mixer, one of these spot boards is really good because it'll hold it all together and make it easier when you're adding the water in a minute. So just mix all this up. See? And being Cornish, you use a long-handled shovel, not one of these stupid D-handled things that are short and you've got to bend over. So, right, so I'll give that a good mix up. Then we'll add the cement. The reason for adding the stone is if you don't, it doesn't give anything for it to bind and hold together to, and it gets a bit brittle. I'm rushing this because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but there we go. You get the gist. Mix it up. Probably put too much in here. Never mind. Right. Mix it up like that. You'll add the cement, bit of water, mix it up again. Quite a dry mix. You don't get too wet. All right. Booty. Right, so that's mixed up. Just added water slowly and just kept mixing it. And like I said, a fairly dry mix. You don't want this sloppy. There's enough water in the ground. If you've mixed it well, when you think you've mixed it enough, mix it again. Get it all mixed in there. Get the cement mixed in with everything. And then you won't have any problems whatsoever. Right, let's get it in the holes. Right. Before we start, first off, I've got a newfound respect for anybody who's got a YouTube channel, especially anybody who has multiple cameras and multiple action. I don't know how you do it. I know the conditions today haven't been the best, but yeah, I haven't been able to film as well as I wanted to just because of the showers and the rain. But hey ho, what we did, filled in our holes, but bit by bit. All right. And as you're filling your holes, start at the bottom, work it around, push it in with a stick, and work your way up. All right. Now I've left these holes on purpose because tomorrow I'll be showing you what I feel is the best way to finish a post off to help prevent the rot setting in at ground level, because that's where they always rot. Now, you see the yellow? That's quite interesting because these are lovely Cornish oak posts that we milled down ourselves on the sawmill and then the planer. And that's the tannins coming out of them because it's so wet. Yeah, so I thought that's quite interesting. Quite a little purple going on there. Lovely. And the same that side. Fill it bit by bit, poke it in, and then tomorrow we'll come back and finish them off. As for all this and the mud, oh, I'll tell you what, I'm so looking forward to actually planting something and growing something rather than all this building. But here we are. Right, let this set off. I'm going to go and put some more fence posts. I've done a few. Starting to get the fence up. Yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. Bit by bit. But I'm so looking forward to actually growing something. Right, see you tomorrow. Right. Right, so yesterday we put the post in the ground with concrete, and now we're going to top off around the posts just with a sand and cement mix. Now this mix 4-to-1, so 4 of fine sand and 1 of cement. All right, mix it up, but you want quite, there again, quite a dry mix. All right, because water will always come to the top of the surf, to the top. So if you tap it and smooth it, the water will come up. So always have it a bit drier than what you think. And for mixing in small quantities, I highly recommend a bucket trowel like this. It's got a square point on the end. A square point. How can you have a square point? A square end. So it means you can mix well in your bucket. All right. So highly recommend one of those. I hope it's in shot. I'm only using my phone. Right. Let's go and stick it around the post. Right. So I'll try and keep out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. If you remember yesterday, we left marks and divots in this concrete here. That's to give what we're putting on top something to key into so it will join. So it's just a case sticking it in, giving it a good tap down around, get the key in well. This is why you want a dry mix, because if you have it too wet, it won't maintain the slope and it will sag out due to the water in it. So we stick that around there. And our key thing is to have a downward slope, so the water will always run off away from your post, because your post will always rot where the air and the water sits. So if you can help prevent that, I mean, you're never going to stop it, but it'll definitely help. So down like that, and you can smooth it off nice. So downward slope away from your post. Now a wooden post will always swell and contract. That's just the way it is, because it's full of water. So what we'll do, once this sets, what we'll do, we'll come back and we'll run a bead of cork around there where it joins, push it right in, and then we'll paint with bitumen paint the bottom end right around, and that'll help shed the water away from it as best we can. All right, that's about all you can do, unless you put in a concrete post, of course. Right, so that's it. Oh, don't forget, when it starts to set off, put a date in it, or your initials. So when you're walking through your gate in years to come, you can go, huh, remember that day in March when it was showers and cold? Well, that's the other thing. Don't do this if it's below freezing. All right, it's not too bad today. We'll be all right. Right, that's how you set your posts to help prevent water rotting off the bottom. Hope that was helpful. Right, I'll carry on and finish this. See you in a bit.